Good morning, friends, and welcome to our Practitioner Sunday morning celebrations here at the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living in beautiful Kingston, Jamaica. I am Practitioner Jennifer Livingstone, and I thank you for being here with us this morning, just sharing your consciousness and radiating that warmth and the beauty that is coming from outside and into the center this morning. So as we do, as all things begin, please join me in our opening affirmative prayer. Know with me that there is only one presence, one power, one infinite intelligence that governs, guards, and guides. That intelligence is God, and it is that which is operating in, through, and as each one of us that has come together for this which we call a Practitioner Sunday celebration. And so I'm knowing that every word spoken from this platform this morning, every activity that is undertaken, that truly comes to us from that consciousness of God. And so I know for our speaker, Sandy, that she's a wide and open channel through which Spirit works this morning. So I know for us, as we tune into this service, those of us in the sanctuary and those on the World Wide Web, that truly we allow ourselves to be open and receptive to every idea expressed, every thought that is exchanged. And we know that we come from this shared experience, enriched, enlightened, and uplifted. I give thanks for this coming together this morning, and I release this word to law, knowing that all this is already so, and together we say, and so it is. And now I'd like to invite Tyrell Crary, our young adults, to come up for this morning's inspirational reading. Tyrell, please come.
Our inspirational reading this morning is taken from the Joyous Living Journal by Dr. Christian Sorensen and Dr. Petra Weldes. It is entitled Courage to Change. The epigraph is by Michael Thiel, and it says, "The courage to change is the measure of a real man or woman. For only through change can one be enlightened, and only through enlightenment can one enter the gates of heaven. The only thing permanent is change. Everything about life is constantly changing. You can see the rhythm of change through the seasons and cycles of all life. Notice how effortlessly the trees shed their leaves, the bird flies from the nest, and the moon waxes and wanes. The problem is only that sometimes you want to cling to what you have and what you know, even when you want things to be different than they are. Celebrate changes as the new unfolds in your life. It may be just what you have been affirming, even if it doesn't look exactly like what you pictured. A wise person once said, 'Breakdown has to come before breakthrough.' Let things change, invite the changes, so that the new can enter into your life. Trust the process and declare that good will come of it. I invite you to contemplate what needs to change in you and in your life for things to really change.
And so it is. Thank you, Terrell, for that reading. Indeed, what needs to change in you for your life to really change. And we should contemplate that this morning. And so I'd now like to invite you to do our affirmation of divine love, and that's found on the top of page 2 of your program. Together, divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for this church now. Divine love is now victorious. And so it is. Indeed. And I'd like to invite you to stand as we do our praise song this morning, Over the Mountain. Please stand. Indeed. Please remain standing as we do the prayer of our center, and that's on words on screen for those of us online and on a flyer in your program if you're in the sanctuary. So together, the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and glory forever. And so it is. Thank you. Please be seated. And now I'll light the youth candle on behalf of all the youth of the world. And together let us say the blessing for youth at the top of page 3. We love you, we appreciate you, we salute the Christ in you, and we see you as shining lights onto our world. God is blessing you now, and so it is. And now our temple mission song. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one in spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one in spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. Okay, awesome. And now I'd like to invite you just to tune in for some brief announcements for today, Sunday, July 24th. Do we have anyone in the sanctuary who is visiting with us for the first time? And if so, could you please stand? And if you're online, oh, we do. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Our usher is recognizing you for being here. We salute the Christ in you. And if there's anyone online, we'd also like to welcome you as our first time to our center. Hope you'll come again and again. Thank you for being here. And now just some brief reminders. Quiet moments in the garden. Please join Reverend John Scott Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a refreshing and insightful early morning start to your day. And so also on Tuesday evening, our spiritual mind healing services continues at 6 p.m. and that's on Facebook Live and on Zoom. And this week, our presenter will be practitioner Carol Charlton, so please tune in. The link is sent out from our mailing list, so if you're not on that mailing list, please do so. Please send in your names. And then this morning, join us for another interesting session of discovery with Reverends John Scott and Michael Record in the sanctuary and on Facebook Live at 10:30 a.m. And this morning, the topic is, are there two Jamaicas? Interesting. Stick around to find out more, or join us on Facebook Live at 10:30. And then on Thursdays, prayer power continues every Thursday evening. It is an hour of communion. And this Thursday, it begins at 5 p.m. in order to accommodate our Lifeline webinar, which starts at 6 p.m. The Zoom link is also sent out on Thursdays for prayer power, so please do get on our mailing list and don't miss out. And as I mentioned, Lifeline, this month, we have another interesting guest. So if you've not been joining our monthly Lifeline series, then I do ask you to join us this Thursday, July 28th at 6 p.m. Our special guest will be, guess who? Our own Dr. Lily Nelson. And yes, so you know that you need to join us. She will be speaking on the topic, one thing leads to another. I can't wait to be there with her. And so that's Thursday evening, 6 p.m., and prayer power is at 5 to facilitate that interesting month-end feature that we have every last Thursday in the month. And another interesting activity taking place here at the center is our classes. Join us Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. when Reverend John Scott conducts a face-to-face class titled Consciousness is What I Am, and it's based on the book of the same name by Joel Goldsmith. And also on Thursdays at 7 p.m., Reverends Ann Shand and Sonia Davidson lead a Zoom class titled How I Use Truth, and it's excerpted from the writings of Emily Cady. So contributions for classes, $1,200 Jamaican dollars or US $10 for registered members. And for anyone else who is interested and wants to join us, it's Jamaican $1,600 or US $12. And of course, prayer support. We continue to respond to all of your prayer requests. A practitioner is available to pray with you immediately following the Sunday morning service. And this Sunday, the practitioner on duty is practitioner Steve Golding. The number to call, 876-289-0907. And that's the same number that you can call if you would like to speak with a minister Mondays to Friday from 8 a.m. to 12 midnight. That number again, 876-289-0907. And friends, if you wish to continue to support our ministry, kindly visit our donate page at donate.templeoflightcsl.org, which has our banking details. We thank you for your generosity and for helping us to be a beacon of light in the world. This concludes our announcements, and we will now be led in a series of affirmative prayers by practitioner Yvonne Chang-Oliver. Yvonne, please come. Please tune in.
Good morning, friends.
Good morning. Come on, Mike.
Thank you. This is an affirmative prayer of Elf. Know with me that God is all there is, the only presence and power in our lives and our affairs. This perfect power is now operating in, through, and around us as health, from the crown of our head to the sole of our feet. The health of God fills our entire being, and we experience the perfection and wholeness that God is. I give thanks for this demonstration of perfection and wholeness. In this consciousness, I release my word to the law of mind. I know this, I accept this for myself, and for everyone receptive to this truth. It is good, and very good, and so it is. God is health, this health surrounds me, in that health I safely dwell. 'Tis beneath a bed of enemy, God is mine, and all is well. affirmative prayer of wealth. God is all there is, the only power and presence in all creation. God is wealth. This wealth surrounds us. It allows us to prosper and is everywhere present. The abundance of everything in creation is the bounty of spirit to all human, animal, and plant life. In this awareness of the blessing and goodness of this gift of unlimited wealth, which is freely given to all creation, I give thanks. I release my word to law that always says yes. I let go and let God, large and in charge, and so it is. God is wealth, that wealth surrounds me, in that wealth I safely dwell. 'Tis above, beneath, within me, wealth is mine, and all is well. God is light, pure wealth, God is wealth, sweet wealth, that wealth is mine, mine, and all is well. This is an affirmative prayer of light. Know with me that there is only one presence and one power in all creation. This perfect presence is a light of God operating in, through, and around our lives. It illumines all darkness. God brings light to our mind, thoughts, and body temple. This is a light of our lives, the source of all good, and a lamp unto our feet. Our path is made clear and easy when we become the shining light unto the world. This light allows us to shine brightly that all can see this goodness, presence and power of God, the living Spirit Almighty, shining through us to touch, to heal, to liberate everyone we encounter on this journey of life. It is good and very good. I let go and let God take control of every idea, everything in our lives. I give thanks that this is so now, and so it is. God is light, that light surrounds me, in that light I safely dwell. 'Tis above, beneath, within me, life is mine, and all is well. God is light, pure light, God is light, sweet light, that light is mine, mine, and all is well. This is an affirmative prayer of love. Know with me that God is love. This love is all good within us. It surrounds us, blesses us. It radiates through all and is flowing through all. This love of God is a sustaining energy that allows us to radiate with compassion, kindness to everyone we encounter on this journey of life. I give thanks for this love which flows through and around us. Indeed, everyone who is receptive to this energy of spirit. I give thanks. I give thanks. It is good and very good. God, the living Spirit Almighty, large and in charge of all our lives, So love flows from me to everyone it touches. And I say, thank you, Father. And so it is. God is love. This love surrounds me. In this love I safely dwell. 'Tis above, beneath, within me. Love is mine and all is well. God is love, pure love. God is love, sweet love, and love is mine, mine, and all is well.
Amen.
Thank you, Yvonne, for those series of affirmative prayers. We just want to breathe into this moment and let those settle in our hearts as we now prepare ourselves for this morning's encouragement. And our speaker this morning, oh, sorry. Well, I tell you, I got so into it that I was ready for my encouragement. Thank you, Yvonne. That's how well you did. But let us do our first hymn that will lift us up and prepare our hearts for our speaker. So please join me. It's a medley, and you have the flyer in your program. Words are on screen. So Angela, please take it away. Thank you. Please be seated. And now we can prepare ourselves for this morning encouragement from our speaker, practitioner, Sandra Cooper, who needs no introduction, but who is sure to come and give you something to chew on for this week. Please help me welcome to the podium, facilitator extraordinaire, Sandra Cooper.
Thank you, Jen. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Sandra.
Always a joy for me to be here. And I welcome you. I welcome you to our Temple of Light. Welcome to those of you joining us for the first time in the sanctuary as well as online. I'm really delighted to share the message this morning. And I hope that it will be a joy for you as it was a joy for me in preparing it. Now, in late 2020, my neighbor, Aunt Claire, passed. The house was sold, and renovation by the new owners went on for more than a year. 1 minute Aunt Claire was there, the next minute she was gone. 1 minute, the cul-de-sac on which I lived was quiet and peaceful. The next minute, the noise of the construction became the order of the day, every day for over a year. I had to put up with knocking and hammering. I had to deal with changing work crews coming and going, colorful expletives, as people expressed themselves, and the ever-present cannabis perfume wafting into my office, morning, noon, and night. My Zoom sessions definitely went to a higher level. Now that the renovation is complete and the street is once again quiet, well, I guess until the new neighbors move in. Well, such is the nature of things. Life happens, caterpillars become butterflies, seasons change, we grow up, we get old, and we die. Some changes occur because of circumstances. Other changes are self-generated under our own control or dependent upon others. But change brings choices. Should I stay or should I start job hunting? Should I start my business now or wait? Either way, the choices that we make to navigate change today will determine the quality of the experience that we have tomorrow. So I've entitled my message this morning, my encouragement, Navigating Change Today for a Life-Sustaining Experience Tomorrow. Now, change is something that is necessary for our greater good. We are meant to progress through life, always moving upward and onward. This is what growth is all about. If you were to take a moment this morning to reflect, say, on a significant change that has taken place in your life, say that maybe the choice to further your education, move house, start a business, deal with your children leaving home, maybe navigate an illness, lose a loved one, etc. Every one of those events meant leaving something or even someone behind and making a shift into the realm of the unknown with its fair share of anxiety and uncertainty. Back in the late 70s, a group of new Science of Mind students, led by our founder, Dr. Elmer Lumsden, needed the pricely and princely sum of 70,000 Jamaican dollars, translated to today's terms at 154 to 1, 460 US dollars to purchase this property at 46 Fairway Avenue. By the way, we're not talking a down payment. We're talking about the full cost of this property. 460 Jamaican dollars. US dollars. Glad you're listening. In retrospect, it wasn't their Tea Party fundraising that made them successful, but the unwavering commitment and resolve that they had to make this place their spiritual home. And that required a dramatic shift in thinking and a willingness to demonstrate the principles they were learning about at the time. I am sure that you can think of a significant change that you have experienced when you accomplished something or overcame something, when at first you had no idea how you were going to make it happen. Can you recall such an event? You just, as I would say in Jamaica, you did just go in it. And we just know that the doors opened and Spirit just moved us into that experience. Now, those of you who have been around for a while can recall the many changes that have taken place here at 46 Fairway Avenue. In the 41 years of our existence, we have done a major renovation on our sanctuary. We put in the meditation garden, the Sunday school, and created the labyrinth. We experienced a changing of the guard as our beloved Reverend Elmer passed the baton on to Reverend John. Our practitioner corps grew, and our congregation changed as people came and went. Most recently, the pandemic pushed us kicking and screaming into the virtual world, and we are now live streaming our classes and services. There are still challenges. Sometimes we have issues with sound or video, but hey, as we would say, we gas and go through. We have also created a new strategic plan, which is requiring that we change the way we do things, as the way we have been doing things is just not working so well for us anymore. And to top it off, this one is hard. Our pastor is about to retire, and we are preparing to recruit someone new. And because we are a Centers for Spiritual Living affiliate, we have to go through a process with CSL. So some questions are coming up. Who will this person be? We know that he can't fit into those shoes. So, what kind of shoes will he wear? Why does it have to be someone from foreign? How will he or she fit in? Will we like them? Will they like us? Will they have what we call the chutzpah, the vibe, the energy, the drive to help us as a church community grow? How will we afford to pay them? Lots of questions. So when you are going through a change, do you have those kinds of questions? Do you ask the how and the what and the when and the where and the why? We ask and we question and we challenge. Right now, I have a client who is experiencing great stress because of the upcoming retirement of her senior manager. And the questions that are being asked: how will we manage without her? Where will we fit into the scheme of things? Will things continue same old, same old? Will we change? What will that change look like? What kind of support will we get from the director? Questions, questions, questions. Now, whether the change is about me in my life, or it's about you, or it's about the temple, or it's a personal or professional matter, change is still change, and it often brings resistance. And some of those things are, the resistance looks like this. We cling dearly to the past and to how things have always been and what so-and-so used to do. We view the change as harmful to our present situation. We are afraid we might fail and look bad. There is mistrust about the intentions of others. We are uncertain about the unknown, and we're just not motivated to change. As spiritual beings having a human experience, we acknowledge that it is okay to have these thoughts. And we need to not resist. We talk about resist not evil. This is a good demonstration. You feel what you feel, just allow those thoughts to flow. However, as students of this teaching we call the science of mind, we know that we can embrace and experience change with ease, with grace, without resistance, as after all, we know that the universe is indeed unfolding as it should. And seeing that we have choice, we can change our thinking and entertain thoughts of possibility rather than those of fear and anxiety. In other words, we control the thoughts we have about the changes that are taking place. And we want to lift our consciousness into the realm of possibility rather than leave it mired in doubt, lack, and limitation. The story is told about a professor who presented his students with a piece of paper with just a black dot in the center and asked them to write about what they saw. All of them, without exception, defined the black dot, trying to explain its position and the philosophy of this black dot on this piece of paper. The professor remarked that no one wrote about the white part of the paper. Everyone focused on the black dot. It's often the same with us, don't? We focus mostly on the perceived problems and issues with, of course, good reasons. why proposed changes won't work. The truth is that the black dots are very small when compared to our many blessings. One of the things I've learned is that with every ending, when something ends, it doesn't mean that it disappears forever. There's still some good that we are carrying into the next period. Consider that black dot thinking takes up space in our minds and blocks the flow of our greater good. If Dr. Elmer had chosen to focus on the black dot of not having the money to purchase this property back in the 70s, we would not be here. Can you imagine what these 2.5 acres are worth now? And since we are talking about this property, our strategic plan has outlined wonderful ideas to make it a self-sustaining spiritual oasis in the heart of the city, and implement several income-earning projects. Our goals are big, hairy, audacious, and naturally, there is resistance. We do, however, understand this resistance. We welcome it and know that we are divinely guided in terms of how we deal with it. However, as a community, we need to focus on what we are prepared to create together. This is not a one-man thing. This is not a Reverend John thing, or a board of trustees thing, or a this committee thing, or a that committee thing. It is an all of us thing. Do you know that if this property, there's no single person to inherit this property. It belongs to the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. And we are the members of the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. So it is our property. We know that all the power in the universe conspires to help us. And it will guide us and support us, as it will help all of us through any change that we have to navigate, whether it's personal, professional, right? Or it's regarding our own church here. Isn't that comforting? You know that even, I thought of sharing a little bit about Spencer Johnson's Who Moved My Cheese? You know, to talk about the writing on the wall. When the little mice, no, it was the two guys who expected that cheese would be there all the time. And one morning they woke up and there was no cheese. Even although they saw it every day they went in, they saw the cheese getting less and less and less. So they saw the writing on the wall, but they did nothing. And then one morning, ta-da, no cheese. So we often see the writing on the wall and we don't take action. We have to change. Some of us still want to hold on to the tried and familiar. We must, however, live in the now, not in the past, holding on to what my ex-husband used to call the used to was. He would say, what used to was can't are. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, tells us, and I quote, if we disconnect ourselves from the stories of the past and learn to harmonize with everything that transpires today. And he didn't qualify that everything. He didn't say harmonize with the good, and so on. He said everything, even the not so good. Then tomorrow will blossom like ponciana trees. No, that's not what he said. Like a new flower in our experience. So the idea is to just disconnect from the past, live powerful in the now, and create what it is that we want to experience tomorrow. So much is possible when we are open in consciousness and stay connected in prayer. Consider that Joseph, the one with the coat of many colors, he moved from being a prisoner to becoming prime minister. Saul became Paul and moved from persecutor to preacher. And David progressed from a shepherd boy to what? To a king. No, that is change for you. So we all desire a future that is full and rich and life-sustaining. So we are the ones who have to make it happen. We must stretch our consciousness daily through our spiritual practice and the application of that practice in our day-to-day experience. I can't tell you how powerful that is. We learn stuff on a Sunday morning here. We come to class, we read the books, and yet still, oftentimes we still slip back into the valley of the shadow. Some people say when we get there, we ought not to stay and build a condominium. Right? But being powerfully self-aware, we know when we slip, and we know how to bring ourselves up. And if we can't, we know that a practitioner or a minister is just a phone call away. Right? But we have to apply it when life happens. How do we allow the truth that we know intellectually to be our guiding light, to be that which guides us and drives us and nurtures us and supports us? Remember that every one of us is the cause of our own experience. I learned that from Dr. Tom Johnson decades ago. I am the cause to my experience. Nobody else. And even when life is happening, I control how I respond. And our faith must be greater than our fear. So as we contemplate the changes that are swirling around us, let us consider the following. Since we are the ones that stand at the center of our every experience, we are the ones who must change. It's not Reverend John, it is not your husband or your wife or the director or anybody else. I am the one who must make the change. We are the ones who must take charge of our thoughts. No one can do this for us. I'm going to share a few affirmations, and I want you to say them with me. So with this one, I stand confidently at the center of my every experience. Let's say that together. I stand confidently at the center of my every experience. We need to develop single-mindedness regarding what we want, not spend too much energy or any energy on what we think we don't want. Right? Wherever our focus goes, that's where the energy flows. So what we complain and quarrel about, those are the things that we are going to maintain and sustain. And this single-mindedness will allow us to stay on track with any plan we make, personally or wherever else. We cannot waver. When we know exactly what it is that we want, this is where we focus our prayer work. Let's say it together. As I stand steadfast in faith, Spirit supports my every desire. As I stand steadfast in faith, Spirit supports my every desire. We need to stop entertaining thoughts about black dots. When you focus on what will go wrong, it will. When you focus on what will go wrong, it will. Let's say it together. I count my many blessings. Nothing else matters.
I count my many blessings. Nothing else matters.
So you might have a vision. CSL's vision is a world that works for everyone. And we see our vision as being a lighthouse in this community, in this country, in the world. So once we have our vision, whatever that vision is, we need to think and feel and act as if it already exists. We must continue to feed our subconscious mind with the kinds of messages that are in harmony with our highest desire. Let's say it together. I take charge of my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions.
I take charge of my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions.
If you don't like how something is unfolding, you can change your mind about it. If you don't like how something is unfolding, you can change how you see it. You can change your mind about it and choose something different in consciousness. This one I may have to break it in two. I'll read it once and then we'll break it up. I have the power to choose And I choose only that which is in alignment with my highest good. Let's say, I have the power to choose.
I have the power to choose.
And I choose only that which is in alignment with my highest good. Together.
And I choose
Only that which is in alignment with my highest good. To the temple community, I invite you all, every single one of you in this room, every one of you joining us online, I invite you to get down on the field and play the game full out with us. We need to come off of the stands when we, watching some of the Oregon games. We have a lot of support, don't we? Plenty yellow in the stands, don't? And I'm sure that many of those fans are saying what this athlete should do or shouldn't do, or why them come out of the track, they block that way, or they, so why them not running? Well, we need you to run with us. Okay? So we need your consciousness. We need your expertise. We need your time. We need your talent. We need your treasure. And that will help us to build our new tomorrow. That together we have already established in mind. Because it's there, we have established the blueprint. And now we are filling it with what we do. No effort or contribution is too small. To help us make some phone calls. Right? To support us on a committee. And if it's a $10, them say every mickle make a muckle, don't. Whatever it is, we welcome it. Collaborative connections are what give us the tools for sustainable, positive change. So here's the affirmation. I stand ready and willing to give my time, talent, and treasure in service of this community. Together. I stand ready and willing to give my time, talent, and treasure in the service of this community. Now, even when conditions of lack or limitation are screaming at us, you can't, I can't, we have to know that God is our unfailing source of supply. I hear the question, where are we going to get the money from? Too often. We practice principle. We teach principle. I should say teach it first, then practice it. God is our infinite source. I want, the homework should be, go out and take one of those branches of the Ponciana tree and try to count how many flowers you have there. Or when you go to the beach, try and count the grains of sand. Or try and count the stars. It can't happen. As a child, I used to go to Dunn's River Falls and look at the water flowing down the rocks. And I remember turning to my father, and I would have been at least, or at most 8 years old, because that's the year he died. And said, Daddy, the water going to finish? Up to now, water is still cascading down those rocks. Don't. God never finishes. God's supply is inexhaustible. And we have to acknowledge that and recognize that every single time. And don't look at the black dot of what is in the bank account. Or what a minister is going to cost us in terms of salary when the balance sheet says X. We have to go beyond the physical. This is what metaphysics is about, friends. Beyond the physical. Jesus never looked at the man that was lame and said, oh, what happened to your foot? So how long it stays so? What you put on it? He just said, take up your bed and walk. That consciousness that generated 2.5 acres back in the 70s. That is a consciousness that we need to tap into, that wellspring of awesome givingness to do what we need to do in our lives and in our community. So let's say together, God is my unfailing source of supply. All my needs are already met. God is my unfailing source of supply. All my needs are already met. Our spiritual practices are designed to create beliefs that reflect our higher self. Beliefs of abundance, empowerment, love, and compassion. When we accept those beliefs deeply, our ego shifts. The ego defends what we come to accept. We change our beliefs, and the ego supports the new beliefs. Let's say it together. As I change my beliefs, my life changes. As I change my beliefs, my life changes. We must apply what we learn in our classes and practices when we are facing the challenges of life, growing in our ability to release negativity and embrace our good. We all have to do the work of releasing limiting beliefs and embracing thoughts of greater possibility, wisdom and love, thereby making a better future. Affirmation: there is that within me that is greater than any challenge I might face. Together. There is that within me that is greater than any challenge I might face. And know that the discombobulation of change, I love that word, you see? The discombobulation of change is only for a time. You know, I had a conversation with Reverend Michael yesterday, and he said that change is much like making fruit punch. You have a whole assortment of fruits and water and sugar and lime and thing. And then you have a lot of noise as you put it all in the blender and turn it on. And then afterwards you have a delicious beverage. So we need to just go with the flow of the noise and know that something great is going to come out of it at the end of the day. So let's say together, I navigate the noise of changing circumstances with poise and patience.
I navigate the noise of changing circumstances with poise and patience.
Yes. You know, when I was looking for the hymn for this morning, I had 3 hymns I couldn't choose. And then I said, Spirit, what I must do? Which one you want? And Spirit said, use all 3. We've never done anything like that before. So a new day is indeed dawning. That new day is today, now, this moment. This day is when we let our darkest fears be dispelled by the light of truth. This day is one of promise for our glorious temple and for each and every one of us. We invite the living Spirit to guide us as we embrace change and plant the seeds of a brand new, prosperous, and life-sustaining future. Are you on board with me? Yes. I'm not convinced. Are you on board with me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, friends. Love you, bless you, and I just know that we are in for an amazing fruit punch. Namaste.
Yes, we are. We're indeed on board for that marvelous, refreshing fruit punch. Thank you, Sandy, for those words of encouragement this morning. She spoke about change, that it requires choices. It requires making a shift and moving into a new experience. And whatever the change, personal, professional, spiritual, we must resist evil. Resist not evil, but we have to choose. And we can change our consciousness. And last, but by no means least, she said we needed single-mindedness. Stop concentrating on the black dot. Change how we see things. We have the power to choose. Let us give her another round of applause. And as always, our services are indeed blessed because this morning we have a special treat for you. So I'd like to invite for a musical item this morning, Hanief Lallo and Kristina Carty. Please come forward. Let's make them welcome.
Morning.
Morning. Spirit says, wait. I remember Sandy just saying something about patience.
Poise and patience.
Poise and patience.
There
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where heroes welcome would be waiting for me, where the crowds would cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be.
I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong.
Down an unknown road to embrace my fate. Though that road may wander, it will lead me to you.
And 1,000 years will be worth the wait. It may take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through.
And I won't look back. I can go the distance. I will stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance and my journey is complete.
But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part. For a hero's strength is measured by his heart.
Like a shooting star, I can go the distance. I will search the world. I will face its harms. I will never fall. I your arms.
I will search the world.
I will face its harms till I find my heroes welcome waiting in your arms.
I need to regain my composure.
The goosebumps.
You know, God gives us in many different ways. And we are so blessed to have Hanief with us, to have Kristina with us. And so let's just applaud them. Wow. And so we know that each of us has our treasure as well. We have our treasure and we need to share it. Whoa! I didn't walk with any tissue, you know. All right, so now together we are going to sing our final hymn, which is We Build a New Tomorrow. And friends, as we sing this hymn, I want you to sing it now. I want you to look at the words. They are powerful, powerful words. And to just allow them to fill every cell and fiber of your being. Let's please stand for a second hymn. Oh, we're going to do the prayer of, that's fine, we do the prayer of Jamaica first. And that's found on the flyer in your program. The radiant light of God's love
is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love is
now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens in the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. And now we sing our hymn.
Our actions be the
we know that the foundation is God. We know that this foundation goes deeply into our consciousness. It is who we are. It is that which expresses so beautifully, perfectly through each and every one of us. It is that which carves the path forward, which allows us to live from that blessed moment of now as we build our tomorrow and move into greater possibility, a greater experience of who we are. And we know this for ourselves, we know this for our families, we know this for our country, we know this for our wonderful Temple of Light community. And so as we leave this place, we take this consciousness with us. We take with us the resolve to choose powerfully. To choose to live, to thrive, to strive, to embrace God in all of its magnificence, and to express that magnificence in every sphere of our lives. I know that as we choose to give this morning, we give from that consciousness, that wellspring of abundance. And we know that it is God that gives in, through, and as us. And so we allow this blessing to bless us, to bless our community, our church, and all humanity. This is the truth. I know that each one of us is very specially blessed. And I release my word now with the confidence, knowing that the Lord acts upon it, and it is now our experience fully, perfectly, and magnificently. I know this as the truth, and I let it be joyously so now. And so it is. Friends, let us say together the peace song. Yes. Yes, we have. I did bless. Yes.
Yes, there is love on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
We're singing love.